Have you ever felt it? That gnawing, restless feeling inside you, that no matter how much you learn, how hard you work, how carefully you try to do the right thing, it's always the liars, the manipulators, the shallow voices who rise to the top. And here you are, watching from the sidelines. Smarter, perhaps, kinder, maybe, but invisible. You wonder, is the world broken or am I? This is not a new question. It is not even your question alone. For centuries, thinkers, from Plato to Nietzsche, from Bonhoeffer to Machiavelli, have wrestled with the bitter truth that intelligence, wisdom, and honesty are not rewarded in the ways we believe they should be. And yet, the foolish rise. The cruel thrive. The corrupt are worshipped. Why? The uncomfortable truth you already know. The first truth is this. People don't actually want wisdom. Not really. They want comfort. They want the illusion of safety. They want certainty, no matter how false it is. Think of it. When a leader promises quick solutions, when they speak with confidence, when they lie but do it beautifully, people cheer. They feel reassured. The lie becomes more seductive than the truth. Plato saw this in ancient Athens. He warned about demagogues, the silver-tongued men who flatter the crowd, who mirror their desires back at them, who feed them simple answers. The masses, he argued, will always choose the sweet poison of flattery over the bitter medicine of truth. And you know this. You've seen it in politics, you've seen it at work, you've seen it in relationships. The smooth liar rises. The blunt truth-teller is silenced. And if you've ever lost an opportunity to someone less capable, but more charming, then you've already lived Plato's warning. Why wisdom is a curse. But here is the twist. It's not only that people ignore wisdom, it's that wisdom itself is a burden. Nietzsche once said that those who see deeply into the world rarely survive it. To be wise is to see the patterns beneath the surface, the hypocrisies, the illusions, the fragile foundations society is built upon. But to see too clearly is to suffer. You begin to realize that the systems designed to reward intelligence don't actually reward truth. They reward conformity. They reward obedience. They reward those who play the game without questioning the rules. The more you awaken, the harder it is to play. And so many wise people withdraw. They step back from the arena. They choose quiet lives over the exhausting performance of power. But every time the wise retreat, the foolish advance. The Machiavellian paradox. Machiavelli, often misunderstood as a cheerleader for cruelty, wasn't celebrating corruption. He was exposing it. In The Prince, he wrote that rulers who want to survive cannot afford to be purely good. They must be willing to manipulate, deceive, and even betray. Why? Because the world is not run by virtue. It is run by perception. And perception is a dangerous god. A leader who tells the truth risks losing power. A leader who lies skillfully gains followers. The paradox is brutal. The more honest you are, the more vulnerable you become. Which leads to a haunting conclusion. Integrity, on its own, is politically suicidal. Think about that. Let it sink in. History's tragic pattern. History is a graveyard of civilizations that ignored wisdom. Rome collapsed not because it lacked intelligence, but because corruption hollowed it out. The German philosopher Dietrich Bonhoeffer, who resisted Hitler, wrote that stupidity is more dangerous than malice. Because malice can be confronted, punished, resisted, but stupidity, especially when weaponized by propaganda, becomes unstoppable. The masses cheered for their own destruction. Does that sound familiar? Look around. Every generation believes it is immune to stupidity, and every generation falls prey to it. The platforms may change. Once it was the public square, now it is social media. but the pattern does not. Lies spread faster than truth. Rage spreads faster than wisdom. The foolish are louder than the wise. And the world rewards volume, not depth. The psychological trap. But why do we, you, me, all of us, keep falling for it? Because our brains are wired for survival, not truth. Psychologists have shown that humans are biased toward confidence. When someone speaks with certainty, we are more likely to believe them, even if they are wrong. When someone hesitates, admits complexity, or says, "I don't know," we label them weak, even if they are right. This is why narcissists rise in leadership positions. Their overconfidence is mistaken for competence. Their lies are mistaken for vision. Their cruelty is mistaken for strength. Meanwhile, the thoughtful hesitate. They see too many angles. They doubt themselves. They pause to consider consequences. And in a world that rewards speed, the pause itself becomes a punishment. You see the trap now. The liar wins because he doesn't doubt himself. The fool wins because he doesn't know what he doesn't know. The wise lose because they see too much. Your quiet complicity. But here is the hardest truth of all. It's not just them, it's us. We reward the foolish every time we click, every time we share, every time we stay silent when lies spread. We reward them when we prefer entertainment over truth, outrage over understanding, comfort over discomfort. And you, yes, you, are not innocent. Every time you've chosen the easy distraction over the difficult reality, you've contributed. Every time you've avoided speaking up because it was uncomfortable, you've played your part. Every time you've rolled your eyes at stupidity but done nothing, you've given it oxygen. The foolish rise because we let them. The unbearable question. So what do we do? What do you do in a world where wisdom feels like a curse, honesty feels like weakness, and the foolish seem destined to win?
Do you withdraw, like so many wise people before you, building a small island of sanity in a sea of madness? Or do you engage in the game of perception, learning to wear the mask, learning to use the tools of manipulation, not to destroy, but to survive? Neither path is clean. Both demand sacrifice. And maybe that is the point. A final reflection. Perhaps the lesson is not that the foolish always win, but that wisdom was never meant to be easy, that truth was never meant to be comfortable, that to see the world as it is and still choose to act, still choose to speak, still choose to fight, that is the true burden of intelligence. The world will not reward you for it. The world may even punish you for it. But if you give up, the foolish will not only rise, they will reign unopposed. So the question you must carry is not why are the foolish winning. The question is, what will you do now that you know? Because history does not just happen to us. We are history. And whether the wise vanish into silence or stand and resist, whether the foolish rule alone or are challenged, depends not on them. It depends on you.